everybody, welcome to another video. Today we're gonna talk about disappointment. Yes, with the pause. The thing that is not meant for you, that is not aligned with your true self, will keep disappointing you until you give up, until you just let go. And I'm gonna tell you my own story, how this showed up in my life. I'm gonna tell you also where it doesn't apply. I was journaling a lot about this. I was thinking about this a lot because when you step back in and to look into your life and analyze your life a bit and your disappointments mainly, you will realize some things like what's meant for you and what's not meant for you, and where your true self actually lights up and where your true self is, suppressed. So when it comes to this video, we're mainly, I want to specify, talk about things that are mainly in our control. That means that, of course, the principle applies also for relationships, because when your boyfriend, girlfriend is going to disappoint you frequently on a daily basis, well, that is something to maybe look into and maybe to solve in a different way than you're solving it until now. Maybe just want to, maybe just the only solution is to leave and not trying to make things better from your own effort. Because yeah, like that's not actually for this channel. I'm not really talking about these things, especially because it's not under your control. Under your control is just the fact that you're either gonna stay or that you're going to choose yourself and just, I don't know, fly to freaking Bali and just enjoy your life. Yeah, because people aren't under our control, they will never be. What is under our control though is what we do for living, is where we live, and how we, let's say, treat people, how we treat ourselves and how we love ourselves. Everything that's just under your control, that's what we're going to be talking about. And your decisions that are from majority of, time under your control. And to show you an example of this, how this can look like, I'm going to tell you and to show you example how this might look like, I'm going to tell you like briefly my own story, how this showed up in my life and how I actually approached it. Because what is the thing here, what's the problem, is that once you have everything under your control, there are only few things that are super, super difficult, and this is one of them, to decide and to actually make clear whether this thing that is keeping you disappointed is actually your fault and you should stay with that thing, try to work even more, put in even more energy and more effort with the faith that it's going to work out, or that you're going to just leave it, even though you've worked on it maybe for like 3 months or maybe even 1 year, whatever, even more years, even decades. It doesn't matter. Once you realize this, and it's kind of shows up, this idea of leaving it, like, should you leave something that you've worked on so much, that you've put in so much energy, and now you're going to just leave it? It feels like failure, right? It feels like you've gave up. And that is the most difficult thing, or at least it was for me, to distinguish whether it's misalignment or whether it is just lack of effort and I should just work more. It is not easy. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Either it would be like keeping the thing disappointing you, or it would be like you disappointing yourself for a while, because at that moment it would feel like you have failed because you have gave up. And so this is what I've been experiencing for the past maybe 2 years. I've been trying to come up with my new ideas, with something creative, with something that I can put my own effort into. I can work on it anytime I want to. And it would be also connected with my own passions and with my own another thing that I'm going to mention later. And many people, I believe, that are trying to build something for themselves, they also experienced many disappointments because they have failed many times. And that's exactly what you would be choosing. Like, a failure, but you know, failure is not bad. It's just part of the process. Failure is, you know, redirection to another venue. And so I would be that type of person, though, that I don't like, you know, not finishing things. I don't like abandoning things that are not tapped into their most biggest potential. I don't like it. And so when I would imagine myself leaving 5 things before, for example, this one, it's not the most comfortable picture, let's say. And I would be probably, if someone told me like, oh, you're going to try 5 things and you're gonna like leave them, you're not gonna finish them, you're gonna give up basically. In my head, it would be like, you know, when I first started, it would be like this, like, oh, I would give up. Hell no. So it would be something I would be super resistant to giving up something. Sometimes you have to distinguish whether it is, I don't want to say trauma response, but it is a conditioning from your childhood that, oh, strong people don't give up, or oh, people that are about real things, they just keep pushing it harder and harder. But you know, this hustle culture is amazing for people that are doing things that are 100% aligned with them. And you can have something 100% aligned with yourself at at that moment at least. But the only thing that made me realize that I should give up and to pursue something different is that I've got not into the work and trial method. I stepped back. I took like a day off. It doesn't look like taking 1 month off. It takes literally one day to find out what you actually want. If you're really into it and if you really want to find out, you will freaking find out. Trust me. I just took one day off from building anything and I opened my journal and I would just start to, let's say, not even rationalize things. I would start to ask myself. And honestly, if you're not having much time, you can just ask yourself, and there is the second thing that I wanted to say, like, why am I actually doing it? Yes, again. Again, there is this freaking why. Because I think that I haven't found for for now, I haven't like until now, and I've been thinking a lot, I haven't found better words how to solve things. There's even this 5 times why method that was used in Japanese, automobile factory for Toyota, I believe. The manager would come up with this 5 times why method. They would just ask 5 times why this part of the engine doesn't work. And they would ask, okay, so why it doesn't work? Well, because it is, I don't know, like not connected with this part. Okay, why it is not connected with this part? Well, because we didn't have this and this. Okay, why we didn't have this and this, and then usually when you asked 5 times yourself why, you will get to the root cause, and that's your answer. And so what I would do is to do this 5 time method. It's a journaling practice. I don't recommend just, speaking it out loud. I mean, it's better than nothing, but if you really want to get deeper, you really want to just lock yourself in a room and focus, because also your writing is connected with, by writing, not typing, but by writing, your brain will start to pay attention more to your thoughts, and you will pick your thoughts because you can't write as quickly as you speak. So you will think about it more thoroughly and you will get into this meditative state, and that's exactly where we want to get into state where you connect with your true self and you're not connected with the outside world. Because at the end of the day, anything you set your mind to, you can do. Like, you would be able to create this whatever business that you're building. You would be able to maybe even like make that person love you more. You would be able, if you really put your almost all of your effort and attention to one thing, you would be able to do it, but do you actually really want to do it? Like, isn't it actually a blessing that it's not working out? And maybe it's a time to just consider this an option, and maybe you want to take a 1 day off and just stop and pause and think about, why are you actually doing that? What is the main reason? And I'm telling you, if it's money, you better stop doing that, because it's like, especially for women, I believe that there is certain distinction, that when a woman like creates something from her passion and creates something that is joyful for her, it has different energy. The whole, the whole, either it would be business or the whole product line or the whole anything, the service, she does it differently than a woman that does it for money. So especially for women, I'm also like, men have also partially a feminine side, so I'm not saying that only women should do this, but I believe that it is like that. It's not confirmed or anything. You can also tell me in the comments, like, what do you think about it? And so you also can ask yourself, do I have a strong emotions connected with this? Because if you don't, at some point, sooner or later, you will give up, because it won't make sense. Like, the time will show. But you can basically be smarter than the time for now by simply putting stop or pause on whatever you're doing right now. Combination of this 5 times method, or basically like journaling, and just journaling through automatic methods. That means literally not stopping writing, and even writing like, so today I had this amazing view, and today was such a beautiful sunset. It doesn't have to be for a while even about the problem. You just want to give your brain the signal that it can go into flow, because like this, it's literally flow. If you don't stop, it means that it's in flow. And so either that, or the second method that is amazing too as well. It comes from Brian Tracy, from his seminar. It's somewhere on YouTube as well. It has like 10 hours or something, but it's worth watching, definitely. He suggested, like, put timer on your phone and then throw it away. And for ideally 1 hour, just sit in silence and give yourself this intention of, I want to find out if this is really for me or if I should pivot. This intention, give yourself that for, before you start the session, and you just want to literally sit like this for 1 hour. Like, who did that? Whoever did this, especially in this attention, like social media era, like who has the time to do such things? But maybe if you did this thing, maybe that would, after all, distinguish yourself with them. And I don't want to compare. I'm not saying this to compare. I just want to say that many people will try to find cheat codes and shortcuts, but there is no shortcut. Like, if you want to do something genuinely, there will be no shortcut. And also this, think about, like, how is it called? This trend of making it young. Like, it's not about making it, like, making your business super successful in a young age. And maybe I'm gonna do another video on that too, because this is also a kind of toxic trend that should be addressed. So yeah, but that's for another video. I mainly want to talk about the methods that will help you to find out if something is truly aligned with you and it's just a hard season, versus if it's just not meant for you. And now, retrospectively, I can say to myself and for myself that I'm so happy that it didn't work out. I'm so happy that the 6 businesses that I've tried, the ideas that I've tried to make it work, And I knew how I felt at that moment. I knew that I was always telling to myself, oh, this is the one. Oh, this is the one. Okay, the last time it didn't work out. I understand already why, but this time it's going to work out. And we always say that, and we should always say that, because otherwise we don't have to start even. If we delusionally don't believe in that, we don't have to start even. So it's good that we think that this is the one thing, this is the right one. But during this process, initial one, you want to also, and ideally even before the process, you want to analyze yourself. You want to analyze and journal about who you really are. You want to journal about why are you here? Why do you think you're here? What is your gift? Look into your childhood. What was the thing you were passionate about that you couldn't stop doing? And you want to find out who you really are, because business is just extension of you. Like Apple is just extension of these three guys that were in the garage, because they had this vision, and they had this, big idea, that this desire to make things simple and elegant. And that's like really what they meant. Clearly they meant it, they were for real, but and maybe it wouldn't be for us. Like, I'm not that passionate about making technology simple and what was the second word? And elegant. But I'm definitely here to help other people realize what they actually want to do, and if they are having their desires and their mindset and their actions misaligned, or whether they are actually on the good track. Like, this is what I'm really passionate about. I'm also passionate about music, and these are things that I know and that I've journaled so much that if you would put anything in front of me, I would say no. And that's also another thing. It's super important, not only the things you say yes to, but even more important is what you say no to. And this is exactly why the self-analysis and the journaling methods, it will give you a very clear idea about yourself. And it's then way clearer to say what to say no to and what to say yes to. And that's how you create your ideal life that's aligned with you. Because it's all about your decisions. Like, at the end, it's all about your decisions, because it's your life. No one is going to decide for you. If someone will decide for you, you've let them decide for you. And so it's truly just about you realizing that you have all the control here. And of course, we do have many things, even like not even, but especially now, we have so many things that unfortunately aren't in our control. But yeah, like some part of these things that are happening right now, even from that part I'm talking about elections, yes, even from that part we had somehow, as a collective, a choice, and we chose. We at the end actually always have a choice. And so you have choice to either pour your energy into something that you delusionally believe, which is good if you believe that delusionally you kind of have to be, especially in the beginning. But you have to be freaking clear and sure and certain that if you put somewhere your delusional effort and faith and belief in something, that it's worth it, and that even though that it wouldn't make you any money or any recognition for more than 1 year, you know that that is what you want to do. Like, imagine that you wouldn't get any recognition and any money for 1 year doing what you're doing right now. How does that make you feel? And then you also will realize, oh, am I doing it only for money, or am I doing it only to become famous or for recognition, or anything. That's basically like the main things I think you can find out. Or is it actually like really aligned with me because I've done my inner work, and I got to know myself, I've put in myself the effort, and I'm 100% sure that I want to do this, at least for now. I'm sure that I want to do this for a decade at least. Like that's the mindset you want to get into if you really want to build something valuable and something that will make at least a little part of the world better. So, yeah, and if things are going to disappoint you, you really want to try this method of journaling and this silence hour-ish exercise, because there might be a reason why it keeps disappointing you. Maybe, yes, maybe it is aligned with you and it's just a hard season, and you will know it eventually. Either time will show you, or you can just accelerate it a little bit and you can get into these exercises that I mentioned. And maybe it is really just to make you more resilient here, because also being in a business, it means that you are building yourself more than the business. And maybe you will find out that the things you're doing right now is just for external artificial not, but superficial reasons. And you might just want to finally do something that speaks you, that is that comes from your true self, that comes from your own learnings, your own passions, your own desires. And I'm telling you, like, if you really know that what you've chosen to do is aligned with you, your life is gonna take a different direction. Like your mindset and your overall daily default mode, let's say, it is going to be different. It is going to be way more prone to be joyful, to be inspired by other people, to be inspired by random things even. But you, it's you, like what you see outside, it's in you already. So the fact that you just see more and more joy and inspiration in the world, then means that it is inside you. And that's what you're going to unlock if you're going to choose your aligned path. So yeah, if you're still here, thank you so much. And love you all, guys. Love also the new subscribers. I really appreciate you. And yeah, thank you for being here. Stay awesome. Bye. See you very soon.